thoughts spinning all inside my room. It keeps me wide awake, I can't get why I can't go tell you. The nights I to remember, those late nights, arguments in December. Burn my soul out and that's why I can't tell you how I feel, cause you'll break me down to pieces. I can't do this, yeah. I just know that you will put me in all these situations that I hate, so I can't even tell you I'm just really even feeling tonight, cause I just know that you will put me in all these situations that I hate, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't even need a situation. We get lost in the debating past decisions that you made when you had me. Sadly, I ain't waiting on you no more. Patience for the games you play, and please don't say it, I don't want you turning back this way. It's not a one way, someday we'll replay this, but
I just know that you will put me in all these situations that I hate, so I can't even tell you I'm just really even feeling tonight, cause I just know that you will put me in all these situations that I hate, yeah, yeah, yeah. December, well, I think it was your arm around my shoulder with no care at all. You stayed cool, calm, collected, just playing dumb. Who'd have thought? Yeah, you were so cool, so different. Yeah, I bet you were bending over backwards just to say a word. And you think you're funny now, but they never learn what it cost. And I've been searching, waiting for the right time. You left early, something about your brother's flight. I just wanna tell you what's on my mind. How do we get here and how do we stay? I don't wanna rush things, but I don't wanna wait for you. How do I know that your feelings could change? I don't know, but I hope so. Yeah, you think you know it all, and you're probably right on most things, but you haven't noticed the way I just sit and stare. I know it's useless, so I'm trying to stop, yet I know that it's always gonna lead back to you. You said you don't remember what I said to you. I'm so relieved, cause I wouldn't know what to do if I'd said I love you probably way too soon. Like way too soon. Kinda mean and overbearing, kinda sweet but unawareing. Times are changing but you haven't since then. Just give the small talk, say you wanna love me till your lungs give in. Or just maybe, are you free next weekend? I've been searching, waiting for the right time. Said I'd call but you answered, so I cut the line. I just wanna tell you what's on my mind, but if I say too much, can we forget it all? How do we get here and how do we stay? I don't wanna rush things, but I don't wanna
Falls on Drake May. He has to be the tiebreaker for the Pats. He's facing the number one scoring defense, and he will have to have one of the.
Screen in the slot. 37, Pat screens of pressure. Garland, no. Incomplete. Intended for Rashid Shaheed. Carlton Davis has the coverage.
カリナあって本当になんででもカリナあってよかった。みんな家族みんなあって笑わないでカナダで YouTube いっぱい撮る予定で
じゃあビデオ
はい Please subscribe
I've been thinking of you all this time.